I'm still negotiating with them what they're going to talk to us about, because I've encountered a situation where they feel a lot of their things are proprietary and they don't want to talk about it. So tomorrow I'm going to talk to the governor of the Isla de Pueblo, and hopefully he can sway them, because they have regulations. There's a body there that oversees everything the corporation does, and if they don't get concurrence with that group, then we don't get to hear and talk about it. So wish me well. I hope I can convince the governor to see our way and talk about something substantive, not just the quality of their golf course or something like that. So that's what I'm trying to avoid. Anyhow, Jeff Berry, he and I met kind of happenstance. I wanted to find something out of the ordinary, and I think the media is certainly one of those things we don't hear a lot about. And so Jeff has 25 years in the business. I was surprised to see he comes from Kansas City, a long career in Kansas City. And then he came to Albuquerque in 2006, right? And he worked for a company called Citadel Broadcasting. And Citadel was then bought out by the current company called Cumulus Media. And so that's where we are today. And he's going to talk to us about the quality concepts in his business, and it should be very interesting. So thank you, Jeff, and welcome.
Thank you very much. How's everybody this evening?
Good. Excellent.
I'll tell you a quick story. I don't know about you, but I'm not very comfortable talking in front of people. If you're a client, you're one-on-one, or I'm with the DJ one-on-one, I'm fine. But when Carl asked me back in, I think, the summer, hey, do you want to do this speech next year? I'm like, yeah, it's next year. Sure, I'll do it. And then December came, and he reminded me that I had to do this. And I'm like, wow, man, I need to get out of this thing somehow. And I didn't. And then what really scared me to death, I told a few people here, he sent over a description of your last speaker. And I read that, and this guy is a doctor who works on lasers, and I'm like, I'm not the right guy to talk to people at all. So I'm not a scientist, and I think a few of you are here. So I hope that I can enlighten you a little bit on the radio business and what we do on a daily basis here. And Carl really wanted me to center it on quality and how we ensure quality. So before I do that, I just real quickly tell you again who I am. I'm the market manager over Cumulus Media here in town. As far as who our company is, we're the second largest broadcaster in the United States. We own over 454 radio stations in 90 different markets. In some fashion, we touch 245 million people every single week. Most of that is through our 454 radio stations, but we all have websites. We've got rewards club members, kind of our fan club. We have syndicated programming where other companies actually broadcast our talent. So we touch a lot of people every single week as a company. With respect to here in town, these are the brands that I represent. Hopefully you recognize one or two of them. Hopefully one or two of them are on your radio dial. If they're not, I strongly recommend you change them who you are turned into, and give me a chance. Give me a payback for me coming and jumping in front of everybody. So I've got 8 radio stations. Of those 8 stations, I reach almost half of Albuquerque every single day. And when you reach outside of the 3-county metro and really get into the outlying areas, I reach over 450,000 people every single week. And when I say I reach that, that's just our radio stations of just our terrestrial programming. When it comes to our streaming sites, you know, a lot of people, when they live in a certain area and they move, they still want to hear their favorite disc jockey. So we've got people all over the United States that tune into our radio stations, get on our websites. They belong to our text clubs. We have text clubs where we can tell you if there's traffic in the morning. You can sign up for that, or weather, or all kinds of different things. So
you can hear it almost the flight step.
Thank you very much. I'll tell you real quickly about each of our brands, but I won't bore you with that, and I'll get into the quality side of it. But again, hopefully you were familiar with a few of those radio stations. Kind of our flagship which I know you listen to, is 770 KKOB. Anybody? Anybody?
Sure.
770. It's truly a really special radio station. And if you're in radio and you work at a station like that, you're really blessed. Most of the time, you don't ever get around a station that big. It's a 50,000 watt AM radio station that we actually power up when it's dusk, and we hit 17 states at night. So you can hear us in certain areas of California and Washington, and it's just, again, it's an amazing station. We have, when you're a 50,000 watt clear channel radio station, you have some responsibilities that most stations don't. If Obama wanted to flip a button, he could be on this station and a few others just like it in a matter of seconds to talk about a national emergency. We're the Amber Alert radio station. We have a responsibility. We send out Amber Alerts to all the other radio stations in town. And just, again, with that kind of power and what, did I?
It's got to be looking my life.
Oh, okay.
On Amber Alert.
I didn't know if I did something wrong. We have a great responsibility to the market and to the state. It's interesting. A lot of people probably, with 770, just the programming, it's more news, weather, and traffic in the morning, and then it gets into talk. And sometimes, depending upon which side you're on, you may like it, you may not, but you'd be interested to know. Although we have right-leaning conservative talk on that station, 55% of our audience is Democrats. They're registered Democrats. So they may actually listen because they want to know what the opposition is, or maybe they want to see what both sides are. But that's a powerful radio station. 99.5 Magic, that is our in-office female-leaning radio station. We have more in-office listening than any other station out there. It kind of targets that female 35 to 55-year-old. Tends to be upper income, and it's kind of the sister station of, if you will, of 93.3, which it targets really a little bit younger demographic. A lot of people might say, oh, it's a teeny bopper station. Well, that's not really true. The average age is about 28-year-old. It does lean female, but so those two stations really go hand in hand. If you're looking for a female audience, I've got it. You can talk to them. Ed FM, that's our station without any disc jockeys. So those people that really just hate jocks talking, that's the station I can talk to you on, or I guess not talk to you on. We've got Nash FM. That's a heritage station. It used to be called KRST, and we still have those call letters. But as a company, and I'll talk to you a little bit about a cluster environment, our company changed most of our country stations to that Nash brand. Nash. Our morning show and our evening show come out of Nashville. We have our own magazine, we have our own television show, and when you bind all of those country radio stations together under one umbrella, it's kind of like, whether you love it or hate it, it's kind of like McDonald's. You know when you go in, you know what's going to be on the menu, whether you're here or whether you're someplace else. So that Nash brand kind of bonds us all together. So as you're traveling in other markets, you're kind of familiar with what the programming is. I'll flip to this station right here, Nash Icon. That's our newest station. It's about 1.5 years old. And that station, for the country genre, is really changing a lot. It's programmed now more like a top 40 station. And when I say that, top 40 is people want to hear the top songs. So you hear them over and over and over again, and you burn those songs pretty quick. Well, Nash Icon is for somebody like me that I like today's country music. However, I don't want to hear Jason Aldean every other hour, so we add in Garth Brooks and Alan Jackson and stuff from like the 80s and 90s and 2000s. 610 The Sports Animal, it's sports all day long. We've got Jim Rome, we've got Dan Patrick, we air the Isotopes games. We have the contract with UNM Lobos, so you'll hear football on KKOB. And you'll hear women's basketball on 610. You'll hear men's basketball on 770 KKOB. But it is all about sports. And then 1050 KTBL, that's kind of our sister station to 770 KKOB. It's more conservative talk. It's not news, weather, traffic. So it's just, again, with somebody wanting that talk format. So that's a little bit about the brands that I represent. When it comes to quality, what I thought maybe I should do is kind of define areas that we try to provide quality. And that's the first one I did, audience. And when I say quality of audience, what might that mean to you?
Our point of view or yours?